Okay, it's coming. It's almost here. Stop it.
Good morning. It says live, lover.
Does it? Good morning. I can't see anything yet. Everything's out of whack. Good morning. Oh my gosh. My brother called from France 8 minutes ago. So we were live streaming and now I'm a little discombobulated. First of all, how do you live stream from Paris to the middle of North Dakota?
That is impressive.
Device. Don't you find that astonishing?
Probably why some people are addicted to them.
Yeah, let me put mine down. Yeah, amazing. Hi, Dr. Mary.
Hello, my lover.
Hey, happy anniversary.
And to you.
Thank you. How are you?
I am good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now I'm looking forward to seeing you. I packed like a giddy schoolboy last night.
You're coming to visit for the day.
Well, a couple of days.
Yeah, till tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it too. I woke up this morning at 4:30. The sheets are washed. I've got stuff baking in the oven. I've done a live stream. I wrote a blog post. It's been a busy day, which means by 6 o'clock tonight, I'll be a mess.
So a usual Friday then, really.
Yeah, you have that to look forward to.
It's all good. It's still going to be nice to see you, lover.
Thank you. Thank you. What are we talking about today, Dr. Mary?
We were going to talk about, how things are relative, how a day can affect you in different ways.
Yeah.
Especially today.
Absolutely. So what does that mean?
Well, today's 9/11. 2,977 Americans lost their lives in a terrorist attack, and not comparable in any way, but the way you and I remember it was the day you and I met.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, I think we met because it was September 11th.
You did. I remember you telling me you were, if you don't mind me telling me this little bit of backstory. So you went out for dinner with someone.
Yeah. Deb Dawson, who doesn't remember that we went out for dinner, but we went to one of. I remember it clearly.
I remember it was some kind of let's organize something meeting, and you and Tamara and Peter Susag were babysitting Quinn.
Yep.
She was what, 5.5? He just started first grade.
No, he was in kindergarten, Dr. Mary. Come on, buddy.
I don't know how old my now child is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then you came back. There was the story I remember is there were Legos everywhere. Quinn had made those to a paper crown, and you said, "Well, if I'm going to meet this guy, I might as well do it now because he knows what my life is going to be like." And because the morning was so weird, you decided to say, "What the hell? I'll phone this guy up."
Yeah, I didn't say what the hell. I didn't swear at all back then.
What the hoot?
You've been a poor influence on me.
Probably said, "Oh, I better phone him."
Oh, I should call him on the phone. Yeah. Yeah, yes, that is kind of true. I mean, the world felt so upside down, so cataclysmic that I just remember thinking, boy, who knows what's coming? If I'm going to do this, let's do it. I felt very alone and just thought, all right, I'd had a phone conversation with you. If anybody's interested in this story, you can go read my blog post from this morning. Clearly, Dr. Mary hasn't.
I haven't. I was doing stuff this morning too.
And so I did also think to myself, well, I'm never going to be able to afford a babysitter and meet him at a restaurant or a bar or whatever. I didn't drink at all at the time, so a bar would not have even been anything on my register. And I just thought, we gotta do this here. I know the wisdom of most people is don't meet someone the day you introduce them to your child. That's weird. But I just felt like this was going to be my life with whoever chose to jump into it with me, and he needed to get a clear picture of it. And I had an inkling about you. So
Well, you also sent Tamara to check me out too.
That's true. I did. Because we were
I had
both.
one of your friends stalk me in my workplace.
You're very lucky, Dr. Mary.
No, but
I didn't
it's
even
all
know
about
Stephen
perspective.
Paul existed until I knew of you.
So that morning, you watched it live on the news. That morning, I was on a plane from Chicago to Fargo when I think the second plane hit I was in the air before the first plane hit the Twin Towers. I was coming back from Toulouse in the south of France. I was at a plant cell wall conference. So my morning was completely different to yours. So I landed back in Fargo. I was jet lagged because I'd actually done an overnight flight from the south of France to Chicago and then to Fargo. When I landed in Fargo, everything was off, and the National Guard was at our little Fargo International Airport, which was actually smaller at the time. It's doubled in size since then.
Yep.
And I just nothing was on. It took about 2 hours to get for the luggage to come out.
Oh.
And I didn't know what was going on until I got back to my apartment.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an incredible day. And Dr. Mary, I encourage you to read the blog post since it's about you.
I know, but I could guess because I was there.
I know, but clearly you weren't really, since you thought Quinn was a first grader.
Well,
Anyway, the balance of this day is always interesting because it's this enormous national day of mourning and remembrance and shared horror. And then for you and me, it's this inkling of something to come. I'm so grateful that I followed my instinct for that day, because otherwise that day would only be about terror and darkness and immense sadness and disbelief. And while all of that definitely lives in my memory very, very clearly, there's also this little piece of sort of giddy anticipation. And also, just as an unrelated side note, it's the single most sportsy time of my entire life. You and I threw a Nerf football back and forth for, what do you suppose that was, 5 hours?
Yeah, I was under a lot of pressure because I was meeting you, and you were very well read. I mean, you were finishing off your master's in English composition, and I thought, I've got no chance with this woman. I've got a PhD in plant biochemistry. She thinks I'm a nerd. So I had to rack my brain, and you were probably the first person you were the first person I've ever met sober. There's a irony for you there. But I had to rack my brain to remember my favorite poem to try and impress you with the fact that I knew a poem.
Yeah, you heavily discounted the value of the accent, Dr. Mary. You could, well, as you'll see in said blog post, which I keep referencing, like I get paid for references, you will see
Have
that.
you written a blog post this morning, Love?
Say that again?
Have you written a blog post this morning?
I did. I didn't want to say anything, but since you've asked, I did write a blog post this morning. But the accent outweighed the tremendous amount of swearing that spewed from you when we spoke on the phone.
That was just the accent. You weren't used to it.
Yeah. Wow. A lot of swears, Dr. Mary. So
there were a few phrases I grew up with and learned in my travels that I don't say anymore.
Let's not share them now. It's inappropriate. This is a nice conversation. And my mother watches. So,
but I mean, the point being, a day can change everything for different people.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about this 19 years ago yesterday, 2,977 people didn't know it was going to be their last day. Their families didn't know that. Another 6,000 or something were injured to various degrees.
I don't know what that number is.
Many people have died. Many of the first responders have died from forms of cancer, respiratory cancer, because this building was put up in the 70s, so there was asbestos in everything.
Yeah. And
various other chemicals that, when mixed together and ignited, actually become carcinogenic.
Yeah.
So it's touched hundreds of thousands of people. But, I'd love to see the memorial. I haven't seen the Freedom Tower. You and I, last time you and I were in New York together, we went to see it being built.
Yeah, that was 2003, I think, or three. Yeah, so it wasn't built yet.
I mean, I'd love to see it because with the memorial pond down in the original footprint, it'd be a wonderful thing that just to take a moment to memorialize the people that did lose their lives there.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, on that day, everything can change. The day you took me to the hospital because I had a nosebleed that wouldn't stop. How did we know that from, I wouldn't, we had no idea that 2 days later I'd be in a coma, but then and my addiction would then be addressed. I mean, that day you wouldn't know what was going on. Like our 9/11 led to a few rocky twists and turns, but ultimately, we started all this because people couldn't work out why you and I were so happy.
Yeah. And if you read yesterday's blog post,
I did read yesterday's blog.
There is this idea of the before day, that those defining moments in your life, so obviously you and I were not alive when John Kennedy was shot, but everybody who was alive can say, oh, I was, both my parents can tell me exactly what class they were in and all of those kinds of things.
Exactly what he was doing. He basically told me what he was wearing.
Yeah. There are these before days and these after days or moments that are often centered around usually something terrible. I mean, I don't know that people say, well, that was, before the birth of our child and after the birth of our child, and it has the weight of that was before the accident, the fill in the blank. And it's just incredible when you have those and you look back and you realize how significant they were. I asked you last night if you remembered what we ate for supper, January 31st, 2017, where your nose literally, you were like a faucet. I've just never seen a nose.
I have no memory of whatsoever.
I don't either, because it was a nothing supper, because it was a nothing day, because that was a common occurrence, not nosebleeds of that magnitude. But for you to have a nosebleed, for it to be unpleasant, for us to be kind of disconcerted with each other, that was just a normal run-of-the-mill day until it wasn't.
Yeah, and the thing is, what came after that day for us was, well, it
changed everything.
Changed everything. It was spectacular. What came after for all those people after 9/11 has changed them forever. So, a day can change positively and negatively.
Yeah. So the little lesson, I think 19 years after this, is that you can't live in the, oh, is today a before day? I mean, you can't live like that, because you would miss so much of the present trying to anticipate the future, which you can't anticipate. But you can remember that at any given moment on any seemingly random day, something can occur which seismically shifts your personal life, your communal life, your public realm, the way that you operate as a society. I mean, it can go from small to big. And what you really want, I think, is to be able to say, before that happened, I was in alignment with myself, with my people, with my place in the world. And if something were to happen to you or me today, Dr. Mary, which I don't expect it's going to, and I certainly hope it won't, but if something were, as awful and as horrific as that would be, you and I would be able to say, before that day, we were in alignment. We had found our way to a healthy, balanced, beautiful place.
Yeah, at least we were both happy.
Yeah, with ourselves and with each other.
And we're at peace and we just enjoying ourselves.
Yep.
True.
So
how many people can lucky enough to say that?
Yep. Universe, don't hear me saying, let's wrap it up. I don't want to wrap it up. I want years and years and years of this more. But because we have these before and after moments and they stay present in our lives, I think we are cognizant of that and work to keep that going. And my encouragement to you today is use before and after September 11th, 2001 to motivate you to have some before and after moments.
You know,
with
I
people in your
used
life
to
too.
call that dad days. I don't anymore. I try and light a candle on the anniversary of my dad's death, and then I think, right, my father died. Let's go live our lives.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get to that point, but that's what it's healthy. That's why there are war memorials on a special day. You go remember them.
Yeah.
You thank them for the fact that now you can live in peace, or you can vote, or you have a freedom that they got you.
Fought for. Yeah. So take some time today to remember where you were on September 11th, 2001, to think about all the people who had no idea that was going to be their last day as a living being or with the people who they loved. And try to be present in today, September 11th, 2020.
That's the
And
best
in
way
the
to honor
people,
them.
yeah, and in the people who are important to you. All right, signing off. Dr. Mary,
Yes, ma'am.
hurry here, please. I miss you.
I miss you too. I've got a couple of things to do, but I will be on the road very well. The two of us. I can't leave her behind. She misses you, I think, slightly more than no, she doesn't at all. But she'll be happy to see you.
Stop. Love you. I'll see you later. Drive carefully. Everybody else, have a great day.
Bye.